I opened up my 401k vodka.
What? All right, you ready for this? What do you get when you mix 401k with beer, retirement plan conversations, fun, and hijinks? You get Retireholics, the coolest retirement plan show in the history of the world. Does that ring a bell to any of you guys, those words?
What'd you say?
No. I couldn't get that footage for you, JD.
Those were the original intro of episode 1 of Retireholics. I just read it word for word. In 2 months,
I wasn't there for that.
That would be 6 years ago we did that. I thought that was a little cocky, by the way, when it was episode 1, and it's really shitty if you watch it online, and I was claiming for it to be the best retirement show in the history of the world.
Hey, it's the only retirement show
maybe
that's out there. So
Justin was not on that couch, but he did join us on episode 2. So he was right there in this 6-year deal. I'm claiming this is 58 different guests, 7 quizzes of death, which I want to talk about the quiz of death later in this show. 2,043 beers were consumed and 45 Smirnoff ices. And if you talk about 2,043 beers, you line them all up. That's a lot of beers.
Well, and we're not drinking beer since shelter in place. I mean, I'm vodka soda half the time on these shows.
I made up all those numbers, but it's something similar to that. So anyways.
I think it's way more Smirnoff ices than the number you threw out.
Oh, hold on. Greg, screw you, man. Of course they count.
Coors Lights is just flavored water, and it's delightful.
I just want to cheers and reflect on that, and thank you guys for hanging out with me for 6 years doing this stupid show. And here's to 6 more years. But this thing's going to get old at a certain point. I mean, I can't be in my 60s and doing this shit. That's going to be a little weird. So,
I mean, you're 54 right now?
I guess I feel like I am. My back feels like I am. There's been a lot of surf lately and my back can't keep up. We have got a special guest. This show is this show is for 401k advisors and industry peeps too, but mostly this show is for 401k advisors. And we have some great guests from time to time, right? We've got the Fred Riches and the Nevin Adams and all these kind of industry icons, these fancy pants, famous names. But I think given the goal of the show to help advisors, having one of their peers on the show might be the best way for us to execute in terms of delivering value. So to have one of their peers and to make this a person who, in my research of her, she can correct me if I get some of this wrong, literally left a wirehouse, I believe, in 1999, which you're talking about 21 years ago.
Yeah.
To commit to 401k as an advisor. So that's an OG right there. Like that's 21 years committed to 401k. I think we can learn a lot from this guest. She comes highly recommended for many people in industry. Welcome to our little circus, Renee Scherzer.
Thank you. Cheers.
Golf clap.
Yeah, I was a not-for-profit that first year. I actually, not on purpose. Everyone thought I was crazy when I left the wirehouses and I said I was going to specialize in retirement plans. So I actually aligned with a TPA and just set up shop.
Yeah, that was a bold move back then for sure. I want to dig more into that. But before we do that, a little bit of housekeeping.
Hold on. Oh.
Housekeeping.
Don't think you're sleeping.
Make sure you're in gallery view. That's the best way to do this, sucker. It's up in your top left or top right. So get on gallery view so you see everyone at the same time and not just the people that are speaking. CBC, Chat Bar Champion. Michael Webb today said on the internet, you come for the Retireholics, you stay for the chat bar. I want to let all the past chat bar champions know their swag bag, Retireholics swag bag went out yesterday. So if you have one chat bar champion, you got some shit coming your way. And so if you want to win today, I'm talking to you, Chris, the husband of our guest. You got to be the most intelligent, the most humorous, the most creative in the chat bar. We will vote at the end, and we'll have a winner.
JD, don't do that.
He's got to earn it.
Competition.
He's got to earn it.
Coming back. I just saw Dan Harding is on tonight. He's a pretty witty fella himself. So.
Brad's already pissed. If Chris wins, this is rigged.
I see Ken on here. I think she could be pretty good at this.
We prohibitive word. You know the deal. Hopefully you're living in fear of this because this could ruin people's careers, this game. It's happened before.
Remember me on Tuesday?
You must drink from your nasty drink. I've got a little vodka and soda. What are you? You got Screwball. Just like, was it Vince that had the Screwball? And you guys had the Screwball? Screwball's becoming a thing. If you say this word, and then I'm going to play the old, I reserve the right to add a word at the 30-minute mark. But if you say this word for the first 30 minutes, you'll have to drink from your nasty drink, and the word will be plan, P-L-A-N. Okay.
All right.
I think that's it for housekeeping. Let's dive right into topic number 1. And I'm kind of calling it like Renee's model. So I said earlier, having an advisor on the show is so crucial for us and for everyone tuning in because we can learn about what you've learned over the last 21 years and what efficiencies you've learned, what things, tricks of the trade, et cetera, et cetera. So we're excited about this. Before I dive into a couple questions and the boys do, can you give us a little taste of how many plans, kind of the general size, like give us an idea of your practice.
Mark, where you at?
Right there. I'm right there, bud. Don't worry.
All right, so I got to think about this plan. So I have, I've been in 21 years, about 31 401ks, and I'm looking at you, Mark. And average plan's about 10.
There you go.
Oh, did I just say it?
There you go.
Whoa, okay.
She's going
the Janice Stout style. Okay, so around here, Renee, we just take a little sippy. You don't have to take an entire shot. You'll be on the floor by the end of the show.
By the way, you guys didn't notice on Tuesday, because I couldn't find a shot glass, I started drinking out of saved baby food jars that I found in the garage this week. So that's my shot glass now.
Why did you have saved baby food jars?
Ask my wife. You know my wife's a pack rat. Like,
Chad, you saved some weird things, buddy.
Yeah.
That segment is called Fun Facts from Chad Johansson. Okay, continue on, Renee. You were about to tell us the average size of your client.
It's about 11, 12 million. And
okay.
What else did you ask?
No,
that's a good start. You have tell us about your office in terms of, is it just you alone? You've got someone you're working with? You guys have support staff?
Yep. So I've got a partner, Carrie Baker, and she's on here too. And
what's up, Carrie?
Okay.
Hey, Carrie.
And I'm listening to Carrie Ohm. Is that what you do, JD? And with Carrie Baker on a part of my business. And then with my recent change to resources, I now can align with, and Carrie just JD, with my husband's benefits practice, which is he does benefits and then he has an HR firm. So Carrie and I recently moved in February to resources so we can now start building together. So that was just actually right before COVID hit. So phew, it was like perfect timing.
But it's just the two of you and then the support that you get from resources for those 30 odd plans. You're the 1-2 punch there, the two of you. Okay. I got that one. I'll get that one here in a second. I hear a lot of advisors these days talking about hey, this is our model. This is our value. This is what we do for our clients. And they give us a very structured service model. And I was thinking about this the other night, and I was thinking, is that really true in the real world? Don't you find that you have to be flexible at times and offer different clients different types of service? And so I want to dive into that and then continue on. Even like, do you even have different pricing models? So how would you answer that? Do you force the same model to every client, or do you have a little bit of variety?
Yeah, we have variety. I think it's for us too. I mean, we've got a larger group that acquires. Last year, we merged 4 plans into one at one time, and now we're in the process of
Just a sip, just a sip, just a little sip.
Just go ahead and shoot it like you did the first time. Keep on flying.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did, I literally thought I was planning for like a happy hour and not talking about this again.
It's part of you said PLANNING, so it's not good.
Jane, where's JD going?
I'm worried for her right now.
I'm that person at the baby showers where you have like the little blue pin and you can't say baby, or you lose your pin and the person with the most pins at the end like wins a prize. I'm the one who just has to give up their pin because I'm saying it so fast.
Oh,
okay.
You're going to fail at this.
We're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble. So
when I don't think that any, for us, one size does not fit all. I have a client that I've had for 21 years, and they're just a wonderful organization. And I've worked with them I've been there longer than anybody else on the committee. And so we've gotten through I've gone through private equity acquisitions and changes of HR. And my model, when they had their former HR person that I worked with since she graduated college to when she left, and the 2 predecessors, was completely different. So my service model had to adjust to the changing climate of the client. So, and then Carrie and I have this bigger client that acquires other groups. And, we almost have to be, I use the term spider monkey. We have to be a spider monkey, and we've got to get our arms around payroll, audit.
Don't talk about spiders right
not
now.
around chat. Yeah.
Not a good time. Not a good time.
So they, but when you go look to price it, you have to look at your time and what their needs are. And, and even in this environment, I'm hearing some really great ways that other of my groups, my peers, are pricing out their clients. And if they have to travel somewhere, versus, now being virtual, they're adjusting their service model to fit that, or their pricing model. So I just think for me, I have some other peers that have more structured service and fees. I can't talk, trying to avoid plan.
No, I think that's good, Renee. Have your little penalty drink. I think that's good advice for even like new advisors that are building out their practice. I know Chad and I have conversations with them all the time, and they're all very structured about, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how it's going to play out, and this is going to be my model, and imagine all these bullet points. And I think, Renee, what you just let us know is that in the real world, shit gets weird. You got acquisitions and different HR people that need different things. Go ahead, Chad. You got a thought?
Let me ask, Renee, you're talking about adapting once you've learned the service model. What about up front? Do you ever offer different service models to clients at different cost structures to them based upon what you think their needs are?
Yep.
Can you expand on that? Because you would probably be one of 3 advisors nationally that I've ever heard say that.
Well, because when you look at different clients, I have clients at similar asset size. Okay, I'm good there. They'll have similar.
It's going to be a long show.
This is going to be a long show, JD, or I'm going to be hammered in the next 5 minutes.
Both.
Let's just go with the latter.
I should just do 5 and just get a bucket here.
Don't do that.
So but no, for certain clients and stuff, when you go in, if they do want the whole, there's a client we have that they want customized education each quarter. They do, we also do Smart Dollar. We do the committee meetings. That's going to be priced differently than the other group that has, just needs semi-annual meetings and virtual education. Right. And they could.
And you'll do that up.
I just brought my swear jar out here, but they're going to price differently than another group that has a similar size 401k.
Yeah.
And Mark, I love your facial expressions.
He's trying to help.
And so to Chad's question, you will literally put a different contract in front of them in terms of pricing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Will you offer 2 different contracts in that sales process? Like, hey, we can do this for this or this for this. That's awesome. Well, everybody's so afraid of I guess, confusing the business owner or the decision makers by offering multiple service models. But I think that that's crucial because often we're building in services that are not necessary, or we're not building in services that are necessary and that you should be paid for.
Exactly. Well, and there's certain clients that may be the same asset size as another, but they require an audit. And so when and when the audit time comes, I mean, we work closely. Oh gosh.
What is your volume? Your volume
Or is it her?
changes.
I think Brandon did that now.
We work closely with the auditors. And so they'll start messaging, us to say, where's this, and this. So I've been very blessed to have clients that I don't lose. And I've had clients from the very beginning. And the ones I've lost for the most part have been groups that have been acquired or they went out of business. And that helps where, you can really get to know the client, the situation, help them weather through the audits. And we've had to engage. This past year has been 2019, 2020. And I think Carrie will agree on this. We kept joking and saying, this is like that. The time of, I've never seen that before. And even this year, that was even before, this pandemic hit. And it was just, so many things come up. And if you don't have engagement with that client, then you're open up to having someone else come in. So I'm not looking to, in our business, it's all, they talk about AUM and everything else all the time. I'm looking for quality clients that I'm just going to keep and maintain over the years and grow with them. You have a client that was 1 million and now 16 million, and that I've had for 20 years. So
can I ask, are you looking to, is the plan for your company to grow from 30? All right.
Yes.
To go from 31 to 35 to 40 to 45? Or status quo is good. I just want to hang on to my 31 and have them grow. I mean, what's your business plan?
No, having 3 kids, and I think, my oldest is 19. I've got a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old. Everyone at their schools, I said this on a call the other day, think I'm a real estate agent because I show up, I'm like showing up in my business clothes and they think I do real estate. But they, I've been able to do what I wanted to do as a priority. And now I may wake up at 4:00 in the morning, do a workout, go to the gym and do all that kind of stuff and fit all my work in. But, now they're a little older, they're 12, 15, and 19. And so now
I don't know. The chat bar saying you said it again. So
chat bar's calling you out, JD.
They just want to get me singing.
I drank for that one.
It's really ugly if I've had too much to drink.
No, it was you.
That wasn't you.
It wasn't you.
Oh, you got one saved up.
Yeah, you got one in the, what did John Ruth say?
Putting some in the bank.
You got one in the bank.
Storing one in the bank. You got one in the bank.
Carl said bank.
Deposit. Made deposit.
Let me ask you, you're running around in your suit. People think you're slinging real estate. You're a mom. We're going to talk a little bit about your kind of charity efforts later in this show.
Well, please don't tell me you wear suits.
Pantsuits
anymore.
Hang on.
Arizona. It's Arizona. It's like 100 degrees, right? 100.
It's too hot for that.
My question is more just on work-life balance. So you're running this company. You're talking to me about you do want it to grow. How do you manage all of these things? And do you segment time? Are you the mom that's just answering emails at the restaurant dinner table? I mean, what's your MO? What's your ethos?
Well, for me, I think, I wake up early. I don't get enough sleep. That's one thing I think anyone can agree. I just do believe in the separation. I always want to be looked as professional. So I have an office and I think, I go there like anyone else. I just happen to wake up earlier if I have a day where I'm doing, something for the kids or picking them up, I get up, extremely early. But I do think
What are we talking about? Are you hitting the office at 4:30 in the morning or some shit?
Well, now that the kids are, my 12-year-old just started today back at school. My 15-year-old starts Monday. So I'll be up at 4:15.
I feel, yeah. I usually get up around like 8:30.
What time does Chris get up? That's my question.
Oh, he's earlier than me.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Overachiever.
You guys are little type A freak couple.
Yeah, we're a little competitive. We're a little
Killing
competitive.
scorpions, living the dream.
So tell me more about this balance. So how do you juggle all those things?
Well, one of the things I think I learned early on in this business was I needed to surround myself with the right people, and I wanted other people that were smarter than me. And I always tell Carrie she's smarter than me, and the aligning with resources was a big thing because they also helped me create efficiencies. I used to kind of keep everything segregated so much. Oh, I'm trying to keep up with this chat too. And I used to kind of keep things more segregated and worry about, when I first started my business, a couple of years later, I had Ethan, and I was at home at the time, and he'd be crying on one side of the door and I'm on the outside trying to be professional. So I learned quickly on that I needed to have the separation of the office. And when I get there, I'm efficient. I don't take a lot of meetings. I don't take a lot of,
there you go. Okay.
I have to be really efficient with my time, but also be around the right people. And now that
when you say you don't take meetings, you mean like DCIO, record keepers, all those kind. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a lot of peers and great friendships. And, because of like my community work, what I do, they'll show up at my office with donations, and they know how to get me, and they're my friends, and they know what's important to me. So, but I have to be, I think in this business, you can be so wasteful with your time. And so, I'll put in 50, 60 hours, but I love what we do. I remembered years ago, I asked my dad, I said, he was a hair salon, he has hair salons. And I said to him, I'm like, what, you seem happy. And he said, I go, do you love what you do? And he's like, not every day, but most days. And that always stuck with me. And so I'm like, I wrote a list of 100 goals I wanted when I was like 20 or 21 years old, and including my income the only thing I didn't hit was I wasn't on Oprah. That was a goal.
This is just as good. This is just
I had how many kids I wanted.
You get a car.
And I had a whole list of things I wanted to accomplish. And it's kind of cool because I have the list and I look at it and I look back and it's just like, you can figure it out and balance and, be a mom, and my kids will, they're going to grow up and know that they were my priority, but my clients will also feel like I didn't have a life outside of them. So, for me, it's being who I am, not changing who I am when I all of a sudden get into a business mode. My clients are great. I get messages all the time of really cool things personally. And I know I'm like that.
I think we should get Renee and Amanda on the same show, and then my head will explode. No, I love it. I love that you're sharing. If I could pull some takeaways from that, you're really clear. You said, hey, I get up really early. That's great advice. Sure, if you're going to have to dedicate time to your family and dedicate time to your business, getting up early is going to get you 3 or 4 hours that you didn't have. You also said that you're efficient. You don't take these meetings that are going to waste time. And then you were kind of leaning towards, you also make other decisions throughout your day that are efficient use of time. So I get that. That's cool. And then and I saw your husband write that benefits don't sleep, and then I also get this vibe that you're just go, 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 go. And you finish by saying, you're okay with that. You like it. It's fun. And so, I'm going to tell you what you already know. I think your kids will see that. And they'll be proud of you for that. You'll inspire them to do something they love in life. So anyways.
Renee, can I ask, you mentioned not taking those meetings. Are you willing to leverage those DCIOs, record keepers and TPAs to take on some responsibility? Because your workload doesn't change whether you make the decision to really balance it out or not.
Yeah.
And so you got to leverage those partners. You have good relationships with those folks. You're able to leverage them.
Yeah, but I'll take a call versus a lunch. It's that type of thing.
Brandon, Brad wants you to get your volume figured out. It's yo-yoing up and down.
I think it's Renee. I think she slides
Hey, it's
back.
not me.
Let's
Wait, no. Hold on. This was discussed earlier in the chat bar, and we have to mention it. I think it's that creepy doll baby thing controlling everything.
Yeah,
in the
seriously, is
background
that
there.
Annabelle behind you? Holy shit.
What is that?
I said earlier before, I think Mark, you and Justin dialed in. It's kind of like our own kind of version of like, what was it? What's that guy called?
Chucky?
No, at Christmas time, Elf on the Shelf. So she's
that's
usually
your Elf
in our
on the
front
Shelf?
yard, and she moves from different spots in our front yard. And so our neighbors
What's her name?
You're scary.
we are the scary house. So I moved her here. Well, her sister's Courtney. We haven't named her yet. She's new.
Wait, there's another one?
We have a swinging girl. We've got.
She's obviously cursed and frightening. So yeah, good luck.
All right, Mark.
Yeah.
What's the name of the game?
Oh, we're going to that, huh? Perfect timing. It's the lame or game. Renee, I know you're very aware of what the game is, so I won't even describe what it is to everybody else who's chiming in and watching for the first time. So we're just going to jump right in, okay? You get how this works. This one's actually poking fun at me a little bit, okay?
First.
Chad just kind of was introduced to this not too long ago. I don't really order weird coffees and stuff. I just like to drink regular coffee. I don't know if you, Renee, it sounds like you don't sleep much, so maybe you do partake in caffeine and consumption. But if you order like a latte, you get a little crazy, right? You're going to order that vanilla latte. Is ordering it without foam lame, or are you game?
You're first, Renee.
You go first, Renee. Sorry, I should.
I'm game. I don't do foam.
Okay, good.
This is apparently a thing.
Yeah. So, Chad, we'll go to you.
I'm going to say it's lame because when I ordered it for Mark, the lady behind the counter was struggling to do it and said, "Who gets no foam on their latte? It's a latte."
Because you're jipping me of like that much liquid, you morons. All right, JD.
I love how PCH has to announce to the world that he's not going for CBC tonight. Like, hey, no expectations, man. I'm just chilling. I don't want to be judged.
Whatever. I saw PCH's vanilla latte. He made that the other morning, vanilla ice latte. So it didn't have foam in it. Just saying. Yeah.
I can't really answer this question because this is me at Starbucks. I'll take a large black coffee, please. Thank you.
Oh, you're that person.
You
So I don't
never
know.
just try to get a little crazy and get a little something different, you know. I could see you ordering a pumpkin spice latte with your hood over your head.
No.
Yeah.
All right, Justin.
Lame. I've never done it.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's all I want from you, Justin. No more. All right.
Brandon said
Since the Halloween holiday is around the corner, carving pumpkins, lame or are you game?
To you, Renee.
Renee, sorry.
I'm horrible at it, so I'm going to say lame.
Chad?
I wasn't quite listening, but I think you said pumpkin lattes.
Okay, JD, you're next. JD, you're next. JD, sorry. Chad's cut out.
It's a wonderful.
Mute him, please.
It's a wonderful time for the family to come together. I love carving pumpkins. The only part that's a little gnarly is, tearing out all the guts. It's creepy, but it's a good thing. I'm game.
It's so gross. Justin?
I'm game. It's fun.
Okay, when's the last time you carved a pumpkin?
I can't, Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark, let me say, I can't help myself but click on people who post links in the chat bar. And that's what gets me distracted. So Harding just posted a link and I had to watch what video he posted.
Hey, if Brandon has taught us anything, it's you don't click on links, Chad. Jesus.
That could be someone phishing you.
All right.
So Chris is the one who does the pumpkin carving at our house.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
I have zero craft skills or anything.
Renee, I'm going to probably entirely derail the show now, and JD's probably going to be upset, but I am so interested. You mentioned on LinkedIn that you have some questions for us that are of the variety of would you rather.
Right.
And instead of me continuing down this path of lame or game, I'd like to segue into those questions. So,
It's not my agenda. That's not my agenda.
did you have it in there, JD?
Go ahead, Mark. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, now you can remove that, put it up here.
I think it's
go to it.
I think it's a good time because your lamer game was pretty lame. Maybe Renee can save you. All right, Renee, let's go.
I need help. I'm willing to.
I'll throw two at you. Would you rather spend a week with ninjas or pirates?
Oh, pirates for sure.
Oh,
You have to assign the question to one of us at a time.
Oh, okay. Justin started. Yeah. He said pirates.
Pirates for sure. Yeah.
All right.
Question.
JD.
Pirates.
I was thinking after I said that.
Only because we're just gonna get wasted, and I'm gonna like that.
Well, you're gonna also have to have like swords and like.
You get swords when you're
Oh,
a
the pirates I'm hanging with, we're just getting hammered
Yeah.
and stealing shit.
Forbidden fruit must be tasted. Well, when Maury told me what you were willing to do,
God, okay, Bart.
Are you not aware that I get farty and bloated with a foamy latte?
Up here.
My mistake, Shacklebip.
You know what?
Party.
Is everyone saying pirates? I always have to go the opposite direction. I'm going to say ninjas because they're a stealthily bunch, and I don't really know what ninjas truly do, and I want to kind of be on that inner circle. So I'm going ninja. And even more important, if they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm pumped.
That's a good one.
Pizza.
Yep.
I like it. So
Good
if
one,
you can
Renee.
only listen to one song the rest of your life, would it
Would you
be
rather?
Ring of Fire from Johnny Cash
Oh.
or Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen?
Ooh.
Oh,
That's easy.
made us.
Yeah.
Made it a lot easier.
Oh.
Going Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if we polled the audience right now, it would be. Oh no, there's Ring of Fires. I'm Queen. Queen,
Yeah,
Queen, Queen, Queen,
all
Queen.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On one too.
I want to kill myself after a little while.
My other one was if you would rather be in San Quentin for 5 years or in a coma for 10.
San Quentin for 5.
Coma for 10.
Coma. I'll never last in
No
jail.
telling what's going to happen to me in Quentin for 5 years.
I'm
Jesus.
there.
No, because you guys are kind of cute. So what happened in Quentin?
I run that jail. That's what happened.
Sleep
I'm very, very fearful of jail.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Could be.
but I don't think I would go coma for 10 years. I think I would.
It's just an
take it to jail.
extended nap. You don't
Check
actually
Bendover's comment.
Bend over says avoid jail.
That wins a chat bar right there.
Wow, that's
That's a good.
if bend over. Oh man, that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh,
If he wasn't Tony, I might vote for him.
Yeah. Isn't the rule of when you're in a coma, you don't actually get older, right? So you just stay. When you wake up, it's just a long nap, right?
Yeah.
Your 401k keeps growing too.
You're
All right. All right.
Well, you know what they say.
You know what they say.
Know what they say. We have had Vince on. This was just last week, and there's all these. I use the term aggregator, but I just want to talk about being an advisor and then making a decision to be part of something bigger, which is a huge choice. And I mentioned this in the past. I was kind of shocked by the popularity of this. Like, I would have thought somebody like you, 20 years in the biz, have figured out your own way of doing things, like that you would be so cocky and so smart and so intelligent that you'd be like, I don't need to join this bigger thing. But you did, and many others like you have done it. So take us through that decision-making process. Like, why is this such a big trend, and why did you make the decision in the first place?
Well, I think once you get in that mindset that you've got it all figured out, you're already losing because the business is going so fast. And
Guess I'm losing then. Shit.
yes. But no, because you've got, I have these really great, and they're on here too, peers that we are from all different firms and a lot of these aggregator firms, and we share ideas, and ultimately we all have the same goal of helping the participant and helping our plan sponsors. And I get great ideas from all of them. And so I get great ideas from all of them. And I think moving to resources, part of it was the ability to be able to.
She's smooth. That's pro. Did you see that? She kept her thought, opened the bottle. Wow, you're getting good at this shit.
Yeah. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good at it in the next 10 minutes. But being able to be with a larger firm that makes you look good and does all that back end research and brings you these really innovative tools, and it just brings you around people that that come up with these great ideas. And so I think making the move, I had talked to a lot of other offices for the years, and just, I was kind of, my business was like my first child. I had it before I had kids. So I was very protective of it, and going out and talking to a lot of the different groups, you kind of look and you say, they're great people. They have fabulous resources, but could I really see myself aligned with them for the rest of my career? Because I'm, when I made a move, I was going to make a move for oh goodness, I'm going to say Vince.
Who had a better fireplace?
So they, oh gosh. So I did do that for Vince, but but making a move was also because, there's only so much we can do, and aligning yourself with other people that are doing innovation and bringing these solutions for these clients that ultimately, are going to help you grow, help you do better, be efficient, was important for me. And, with resources, for me, the other part was the culture is,
Oh, you are too nice.
That was tight. That was tight race.
That was tight. But was also, I love like Jason and Corby and Nate and Vince, and, you just go and I've known a lot of these people. They're, my friends, and there's their peers, and they're people that I admire. And I think they're just so creative. And so it's like, I want to be with them, I want to see what they're doing. And then
Don't you think that when you run your own business, I know I'm guilty of this, you get caught up in the day-to-day a lot, right? You're running around dealing with your clients. And so you have all these visions of growth and creativity, and, we're going to add this service, and this is going to be really cool. We're going to do this one day. And then you turn around 5 years later and you really none of those ideas have come to fruition. Yeah. So I definitely get now, like, if you're part of this bigger group, then that group can make those things happen, and you can be the benefactor of all that hard work. So that makes sense to me. And clearly it's a popular thing.
In my mind, you can also leverage
barely hear you, buddy.
Yeah.
Bring to you.
We have volume issues tonight.
They are, if they're helping you scale, then you have time for the business building side.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You've only been there, geez, it's been what, 8 months or 7 months? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take so far? Did it meet your expectations?
Oh yeah. I was a little concerned when digital, was happening, that transition was happening. And after that kind of closed and everything else went through, it's been, better than expected. It's just, I think when you join a firm, you can just be idle and not do anything, or you can engage with the resources and tools. And so what we did is we just injected ourselves, asked questions, reached out, and became part of the organization versus just make the transition and just kind of sit and wait for them to come to us. And I think that's important too, is because there's a lot of people in the industry. I think that, you are like, I've never heard of that name before, yet they have this great practice. And it's just, they just kind of sit quietly by. And I think what we've been able to do is really benefit from, the people and what they have to offer. Do you do that
through like organized user groups, or do you like reach out to Corby Doll on your own? Or, how does those conversations take place?
Well, I knew Corby actually when he was at Retireholics years ago. And so he was a wholesaler. So I've actually reached out to Corby even when I was looking at another firm before and just to get his advice. So these are people, at that conference that you guys, I think the first time I saw you at was at when you guys had Phil and stuff on stage and Brandon. And, I sat next to Corby at dinner that night, and he's just, I don't think I need to say to anyone who's on it, because he's just an incredible human being.
Corby. Yeah. Corby is such an asshole, that guy. My gosh.
He's great. And
nicest guy on the planet. Yeah.
He is and so it was, I was able to spend dinner with him that night and, talk with him, and Nate was there, and some other, and the other resources team. So
now my opinion of Nate White, that's a whole nother story, but we'll move on.
Oh,
sorry.
But there was, but I think when you start talking to the people and seeing what the culture is all about, it's just that, I think when you see yourself fitting, I think, and knowing that this is who I want to be around, and these are the people that I want to be aligned with, that's where, as you go through, I know some other advisors that are looking to figure out what's the next step for them to do. And I think, take, whether they're at your expense or they're treating you, take the flight. I mean, I flew out to, I won't say what cities, because you'll know who, and spent the day, just to meet everybody there. And, you just kind of, sorry, that's airplane flying
Not
over.
you? Oh,
that was a perfect time to say flight. Yeah, great job.
But I think there's I think in this industry is finding the right group that you're with that helps do that work. Cause I know my skill sets, and I know I'm great at some things, and I know I stink at others, and finding the organization that's going to help me, and also help me bring better solutions to my clients, was really important.
Are you using tools like financial elements?
Yep.
Am I getting that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah. Carrie and I just got a 8,500 life group that we now hope to get the 401k plan. We'll likely get the 401k plan in next year. And it was financial elements.
Can I ask then, because you caught me a little off guard.
Only if you turn your volume up, Chad.
Talk louder, Chad.
Damn it. Brandon yelled at me about this last time. The volume's perfect.
Mm-hmm. That says you.
Your K focus, but it sounds like Carrie.
I think it's a Zoom thing.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to go in your settings, Chad, and crank
There you go, Brad. It's Zoom's fucking this up, not us.
I haven't changed anything. So it was fine earlier. It's the same it is now.
Well, then go ahead.
Now we can't hear you. So
talk in silent mode then. Go ahead. Ask your question.
I didn't know you guys had a group health focus. I didn't know you had a group health focus.
There you go.
Well,
better.
So for the health part, with my husband was with a large firm, and up until about 4 years ago, and then he went on his own. So my prior firm didn't have they're so large, they didn't have the power to be able to, from a compliance standpoint, monitor that. So that's why it was the kind of the delay of working with the group benefits arm.
Is your husband? Can you guys hear me now? Because I cranked up the volume.
Yes.
It was inside Zoom. Brandon's right. Inside Zoom, there's an auto adjust feature. I turned it off. I cranked up the volume. You needed another dot there.
Great.
Is your husband part of the same firm as you, or is he separate?
He has his own organization, and now I'm can align with him, because under the resources model, now I can also be a part of his team or aligned with the team.
Who makes more money each year, you or your husband?
We compete. We compete on everything. It's bad to be in my house.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
Everything should be a competition.
Not everything, Chad. Not everything.
Greg.
Perhaps.
Yeah. But I do think in this business, I think there's no better business. It's really great. You get to be, I have the best network. And I think during COVID, I was able to really build friendships and relationships in this business that help us be better and be more creative, and resources was a big part of that. And we made that move right in the nick of time. It couldn't have been better. And, they also, with them providing these extra tools and resources as we help participants recover out of this is huge. And the financial elements, as you mentioned, JD, is, they have a mentor, someone to talk to. And, in the Fidelity study that was done, I think it was last quarter, participants said, they still want someone to talk to. And, and some of the other wellness tools that we do,
Are all
we don't
tech,
have a person they can talk to. And, for our, from an efficiency standpoint, I can't be talking to all the employees, and to have a wellness solution that's extremely cost effective where they have a kind of a coach, it's huge. I mean, I think it's such at a extremely competitive price. So to me, that alone, was huge, and it's going to be so significant as we recover out of this.
Mark, this wellness thing ain't going away, buddy. It's not going away.
Nope.
Never said it was.
Greg says, I'm married to a lawyer.
You have to use it correctly.
Greg says, I'm married to a lawyer. There's no way we're going into business together. My wife does our HR stuff for the company, and I love her to death, and we get along really well. But if we have a fight ever in our marriage, it's always about work.
I love it.
Never gonna financially recover.
Yeah, there was a reason that part of this pandemic I worked from home and he worked in the office.
Let me ask you this, kind of the number one question people always want to know. As you grow these 31 clients to, whatever number, where do the new ones come from? What efforts are you making to drag new business in? How do you get the new opportunities?
Well, now we're able to turn on the faucet for the benefits team. So they've got that starting to fill up already. And then we've had mobility. So, there's one thing when you have the service model where you're working with payroll, HR, and the executives, you get to know everyone. I mean, we do a lot of education. Each quarter we develop fiduciary education. We know payroll knows us. We get involved, and sometimes to a fault. I have to admit, sometimes I feel like we're inefficient, but clients, you make yourself where you're not replaceable. And there's a client that Carrie and I even personally have. It's I've never seen that before. And it's a large plan, and they actually increased our advisory.
Been doing well.
Yeah.
They actually increased our advisory fees July 1st. Who does that, in this market? And that was actually.
How dare you?
When you're telling me that you're so deep in with the HR and the payroll, are you trying to tell me that the person in HR is going to end up getting hired somewhere else in the Scottsdale area, and then they're going to reach out to you because is that what you're saying to me?
So we got this 8,500 life group on the wellness, and then they'll look at the RFP for the 401k account next in 2021 because of people moving. And it was, they came out, they started looking at these wellness / 8,500 employees. I mean, they've got transition, they've got a certain population of employees. And so they wanted a solution that they could offer to all these participants that, again, from some of these other, other programs they couldn't do. And then with our partnership with Resources, we were able to close and get that client.
In addition to those types of referrals, are there any other more kind of hardcore things that you do? Are you drip marketing on people? Are you a fan of social media? I mean, give me some other, if they exist, that you use to bring in new biz.
Well, for me, it's with strategic partners. I've had some vendors call me recently with plans that need assistance. I think building.
Hang on, sorry. Your husband is not going to win the game with his little 3-word quotes. Always be closing.
Not encourage him.
Benefits never sleeps. Come on, Chris. Up the game. Up the game. Sorry, Renee. Continue on.
I know when I'm having a bad day, he'll go sell something.
Did he come up with that tagline too? He's good to 3 words. 401k every day. Was that him?
No, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the chat. But for growth, I mean, earlier in my business, I used to do these little Halloween bags, don't be scared by the audit.
Yeah.
And I had all these things. And what I do now, and part of it is my network, because I do community work, and I have other, I engage with prospects that also are involved in other organizations. So I build those relationships. Now it's kind of not necessarily on social media where I'm presenting myself, but mine is on the relationship side. I understand, I know when they're getting a table. I'm getting asked to sit at their table because they know community and giving back is important to me. So I'm getting invited to their breakfast table. So mine is kind of a back door where I'll send them books, I'll send them gifts, that I think that they'll it'll be, something that they'll be excited about. And I think that the relationship side, I know I'm trying to avoid playing and I'm talking in circles.
You can avoid it.
You're gonna have to drink for saying it. No, the vibe I'm getting from her is she's old school. She's more like, okay, I'm going to be at this event. I'm going to do these social kind of, not social media, it's social in life kind of things.
Yeah.
Do you have I'm curious, do you have a billboard somewhere? You said you're old school.
I am old school.
Is that old school?
I'm still about the relationship. I think.
Answer the question.
I really, for me, I can be I dial for dollars for so many. Earlier in my career, I was
3 words, dial for dollars.
Yep. Yeah. I would do like 25 dials and do, get a cup of coffee. Do 25 dials.
You're a gangster. Now I know how you and your husband got together. Sales. It's like a boiler room.
Yeah, the sale prices, I think anyone in this business, it's fun. I think we all, but I also understand because I have had clients and I just have clients for 1 years that it's the relationships that keeps you in there. And so for me, I used to kind of hide the fact that, and I know this might come up in the conversation about my community work. And I realized that my clients, they love that part of me. And I had found out one of my old former clients, now it's a new client because he sold the company and bought a new one, but he was integral for, he had a contact of someone that was important to me with animal rescue. Well, I wouldn't know that if I wasn't engaging in those relationships. And so for me, I used to kind of keep things as silos, and not that I fully integrate everything. I mean, I maintain a professionalism, but what I realized with clients is they also, when they leave the office, they have other, passions and excitements, and I get to know those. And with that relationship, you move them. Like this one client who's helped me, oh gosh, honey, they've helped, he's, now he opened and started 2 new businesses, and I've got those new clients now, then, and one's just implementing now, but if I wouldn't have, read his articles and done my research on him, I wouldn't know that he had a passion for kids in crisis, and he had a passion for rescue. And so when you're able to get to the real, true decision makers and have those conversations, and they know what you're about, I think you solidify those relationships. So you're not constantly out there, pounding the pavement.
But what I heard, and this is a question I wrote down prior to starting the show in terms of how you're finding opportunity, because I didn't know that you had any play with your husband and your practice with the group benefit side. What I've heard and what I've heard from Aaron and Janya and Alex and everybody who is killing it as a 401k focused advisor is you're attached to a group help shop. Every single one, everyone. And I thought maybe that you were something new in terms of you found a secret sauce to finding these opportunities outside of that. And it's good. This is what teaches us as an industry. You need to find those COIs.
See, I knew he was going to say COI. I knew he was going to say COI.
That should have been a word of the episode.
Well, and
you're right. Good point, Chad.
That was recent. In my prior firm, I wasn't able to even email my husband, because I couldn't police it. And
so you just like talk to him and text him instead?
Oh, it was a joke around the office. I was like, if I had to sign an addendum that I would run to the printer and take anything off the printer that I printed, stuff like that. So it was, compliance is fun. So we're excited because, made the move and then this hit. So we haven't really taken that alignment to the next level. And and even with Chris, I mean, we're all about health, wellness. It's always, that's been the discussion. We have a great wellness director, and she's just darling too. And, but be able to integrate the two, because we have to look at this from a holistic perspective and from client's perspective, as well as the participant, from their health and financial health to also their budget. How do they look at their whole paycheck and determine, especially recovering out of, this period, how much money do I put to retirement versus my health benefits and then pay my bills. So I think we've got, I think it's a great time to be in the industry, but I also think we've got to put our work boots on and just really get to work here.
Yeah, this stuff's not going to happen all by itself, but we talked about health and wealth last week. It's clearly this convergence is a big deal in the industry, but I like what you said, Renee. It's not just going to do itself, right? People are going to have to roll up their sleeves and make it happen. And Chad, thank you for pointing that out to anyone paying attention. You're right. The centers of influence, the strategic partners seems to be a reoccurring theme of successful advisors. And so if you're on the up and trying to build your business, you should be investing a lot of time and energy and effort into developing that strategy for yourselves. And there's lots of different ways to go about it, but I'll use Renee's last comment again with that. It takes energy, it takes effort. We talked about this on the Mutual of Omaha show that we did on Tuesday, which will come out on October 14th. By the way, everyone go sign up for the Mutual of Omaha Retireholics show so they think we're cool. And we drove a lot of, you don't even have to show up, just RSVP and then.
Wow.
Our anyways, is based upon how many people register. So
don't do
anyways, great point, Chad. Brandon, can you, the Wheel of Ice, the Wheel of Ice, Renee. And we're doing it now to where the guest could potentially land on the guest.
Really?
So your name is on this wheel. And so I don't want you to be scared. And guys, and everyone listening in, she's not really scared because she emailed me at like 1 p.m. today and said, do I need to go out and get a Smirnoff Ice? Am I going to be on the wheel? And I said, look, you're going to be on the wheel, but you're not going to lose. Mark's going to lose. So go ahead, spin the Wheel of Ice. Let's see what happens.
The Wheel of Ice.
I'm just letting you know, I only have 2 left now.
I know Shannon's excited right now. This is her favorite part of the show.
Only 2 left?
Oh.
That looked like Shannon moved it over.
Nice, Brandon. Very nice.
Yeah, real nice.
Brandon works so hard.
Carry on.
JD,
yes.
Did you hear that Mark mentioned he only has 2 left?
Ooh, we got to ship him some more Smirnoff. Okay. Drizzly will be coming your way soon.
That's 2 more weeks, and we're traveling up north for that one.
Oh, yeah. We're recording live.
There are these things called stores where you can go and buy Smirnoff Ice.
I can't be caught buying that stuff, dude. Come on.
Hey, we only have a few minutes. You were featured in Plan Advisor magazine. Oh, shit. Tell us a little bit about that article. Maybe Brandon's pulling up the image. That was how fun was it to be made a cartoon or whatever, illustrated? That's neat.
I know. I love it.
Tell us about the article and kind of everything you do in this space of giving back.
Well, I felt very honored that they called me and I had done another thing with Plan Advisor and shared a little bit about the community work I do. And so
it's getting smooth. She just goes right through it.
So, earlier in my career, I used to kind of keep that line of what I did separate because I felt clients were going to look at me and think, oh, she's out there saving dogs or she's, doing this drive.
What a horrible person.
Yeah, that's a horrible shame on you.
Well, no, I think, I started in the business when there really was not a lot of females. And so I always felt like I had to, really
fair enough
professional. And, so it was, so I just, I had a client actually even, I've had clients really get me into doing certain avenues, but I've always just felt very strongly about giving back. I grew up in a dysfunctional type of situation and like many people have, and I just felt like I was conditioned for it. So I have probably had the most fabulous experiences. And when I realized I can integrate clients with it and peers and partners with it, it just has blown me away. So it's, I find opportunities come, I think, if you open your eyes, and, there's, whether it's rescuing animals or whether it's child crisis, and being able to be at the shelter. Early in my life, I was broke, and, I've been a single mom and other things, and I would see other people, and I live in this very privileged area. And I thought, these people they blow money, and they're spending, and they have these donations that are amazing. So I just started taking them. I mean, I've had times where I've come home and repeatedly, and I have bags of donations at my garage or on the side of my house. And I started taking them to the shelters and they all have a personal connection to me from somebody I know or somebody I've tried to help. And it's domestic violence, it's child crisis, it's animal rescue. And, my husband.
Can I pause you for a second? I think it's so cool that you do all those things. I think myself and a lot of people out there that think about giving back, they spend a lot of time going like, okay, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And Renee's just like, fuck it. I'm doing all this stuff. So anyways, sorry to interrupt.
Just show up. I was really shocked. It's funny that you said that, JD, because at first I thought the same thing. And I went up to a retreat, and it was just us, me and some girlfriends, and it was a lot of drinking. And all of a sudden I left there going, two of us have been through a bunch of stuff, and we're strong and happy and successful. And the other two hadn't been through anything, were going through challenges. And I thought, there's a purpose for this. There's a reason why we're strong. And so I just started picking up the phone and calling, and I didn't realize how much I could make an impact. So there's times where our house will be filled with Halloween, costumes for shelters. My friends always tease, I think I messaged this to you, JD, that, there's you're the only person who can show up at your kid's school with a bunch of dogs and no one questions anything. Right. But, I get calls randomly, and it's what's really amazing is I think a lot of people are kind of what you said. They don't know what to do. And I get calls all the time is, what are you working on? What are you doing? Who can I help? So you're the conduit. People, they don't have to figure it out. They can just go to you and help you out. Exactly. And I had a friend call, and someone answered an ad I shared this on the Plan Advisor thing.
Policing herself.
I got that. And someone had answered an ad on a Craigslist for a free couch. Well, we show up, my husband and I look in, and it's 7 people, 4 kids, 2 3-year-olds, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, and 3 adults living in an apartment. And I peeked in, and I didn't go in because for safety reasons. And there's a little 3-year-old sleeping on blankets. You can't unsee things. So I put it out there. Clients, friends, vendors showed up. I have an old neighbor from when I was kindergarten sent me $200. And so we decked them out we decked out their whole apartment. And I'm that person that, it gets you uncomfortable. People don't want to get uncomfortable. And I think that's the big thing is, with giving money or giving time. And I'm that person will, drive to the other side of the world to get a dog out of a dumpster, if I get a call. So, and I think once you put yourself out there, people know you're going to do something. The hard part is finding that balance where people don't just dump their stuff on you. So, but for me, I think, I have such a fabulous network, and I have the most generous people. My DCIO partners, they show up at meetings with blankets and food and whatever else I'm collecting. So for me, again, it's just part of who I am, and it's integrated. So sorry, I'm rambling on.
No, you're not at all. By the way, the chat bar is blowing up with, they are loving you for praise for what you're doing. Although I buy homeless guys beer, Saint, whatever. That's a good one.
Brother.
No, you were at the same time, you're inspiring me. You're also making me feel like total shit.
That's what I said.
Because I'm more worried about what the waves. I'm worried about what the waves are going to be like tomorrow, and when's the right tide, and where I need to go. And you're getting up at 4 a.m. and helping homeless people. I need to have a real self-reflection check on my life and what's going on.
I'm going to put you guys on my list when I need stuff, so don't worry about it.
My only charity is Mark's paycheck.
No, I knew he was going there.
But when I first started at PPC, within a couple of months, you threw out to a lot of people there, hey, we're going to go, the church that you were going to that time, we were filling bags for folks. And I went there. I think I even brought Maria. We went along and did that with you all. And it seemed like something that you were passionate about. Even at that time, for me, starting with the company and seeing that was really cool. And it inspired me to like think about other ways to do it. But obviously Renee's taken that to an extremely high level. And it's very cool. And actually, I want to point out something. I just talked to an advisor this week. His name's Henry. He's on today. Thank you, Henry, for joining us. He does. He's a surfer, and he does
surfing one in San Francisco.
Yeah, dude. It's so. Hearing all these things and talking to people, it's really cool when it's a passion of yours. You're able to do it and connect with people, and it's so. Yeah, I'm truly inspired by it. But you just gotta let the gloves off and just get your hands dirty and get in there and do it.
My kids aren't going to leave my house knowing how to cook. So I got to give them some skills.
Maybe even the Retireholics could do something. I was thinking about for 2021, when all those conferences want to book us for shows, we'll, instead of charging them a big fee, we'll make them pay for our travel. And then we'll give them some big money amount that has to go to charity or something. Right. And we'll guilt them into doing it. Like
something too, JD. Like we could actually be proactive. Like
make some money. That's the way to make change, Chad. And make some money.
So my next two things I think you guys would probably rock is I'm going to do a lip sync battle at some point. I've been wanting to do as a fundraiser. So I think you guys might do good at that. And the other one
you said no to karaoke.
I want to do is it's going to be a bus, and you got to buy in, it could be multiple buses, and it's 30 minutes and $30. And then there's kind of a buy-in and all this. And so you've got $30 and 30 minutes to go into Goodwill and put an outfit together. And you're going to have a logo, a thing of what your theme is. And then throughout the night, there's triggers that you have to change outfits. So my other goal in all of this with my charity is also to make it fun. How many functions have you gone to where you just go in, you watch a video, you cry, they ask you for donations, you hear a story, and you leave. So it's try to make people aware of fun ways that we can kind of, do something fun together and raise money at the same time.
Very cool. And I'm sorry that you felt as a businesswoman that you had to kind of draw a line between those two things. And I'm really glad to hear that now you put them all together and say, this is me and this is what I do. But I understand why you said that earlier. Like, people would look at you like, oh, look at this, the mom that does all the charity instead of being a business person. And that's a bunch of bullshit. So I'm glad that you're able to blend those two things. We need a chat bar champion. So we've got to vote. I'm guessing Renee is going to vote for her husband, because if she doesn't, then. But let's start with you, Mark. Who's your chat bar champion?
No, you got to come to me last.
Mark doesn't keep tallies.
Chad?
Mine, it was a close race, but Brad is my chat bar champion tonight.
Funny. That was my vote too. So 2 votes, Brad. Justin?
Sticking with what I said, it's bend over.
Bend over. Bend over with 1 vote. Renee?
So I haven't fully followed it, but I think Kat Wilson is doing awesome.
Wilson and Mark.
It's Chris. The fact that Chris showed up and hung out with us while his wife was on here. I love it, man.
And brought her a drink.
With a mask on. That was great.
Chris still has to go to basketball.
Brandon, sorry.
I got to throw in a vote for Webb.
Webb was solid tonight.
The fireplace thing.
So was Dan. I had points for Cole. I had
Harding.
Bend over. They were solid.
Great job, chat bar. Great job, chat bar. Renee, we don't have time for it. But we were going to ask you some questions about getting to know you better, where we could just ask any question we wanted to ask.
We'll time for that, don't we?
Well, we're like 9 minutes over.
We've been going for 2 hours the last few weeks.
I really feel like that trend needs to change.
Let's make it 7 minutes. Let's ask the questions.
Yeah, the audience can.
Okay.
If you want to go, you can go. But
yeah, if you want to, of course, Mark. If they want to leave, they can leave. You're right. All right.
200.
My question for you, because we can ask you anything, and you have to answer, or I don't know, or you drink, I guess, if you don't want to answer.
Yes.
Who do you like better, Carrie Ohm or Vince Morris? You know,
just drink.
Who's a better human being?
Wow.
I like them both equally. I'm drinking on that one.
Oh, lame. All right,
Oh
Mark,
my God.
your turn, Mark. Ask her a question.
So Renee, I obviously, read your bio on your website. So as we all I'm sure we did, but there was something mentioned there that there was a charity event that was rained out and you went to your place and you had a karaoke contest, right? Which is awesome. And that's great. But I need to know, you kind of brought up music earlier, but what's your one go-to karaoke song that you would perform in front of millions of people, maybe not even with the karaoke?
Mark really sets up these questions.
Just
really
what is your what's that song you sing in the shower and every day that you want to just belt out to the world?
So I have two, and Kathleen Wilson, who's on this, is the catalyst for my karaoke. So we'll do karaoke and we do a table. So if you guys ever come in town, you're welcome to stay here. But we have costumes, like you could throw wigs on so you can get into character. So, and no judgment, but that kind of sounded bad. But my song usually is with Chris and I sing Endless Love, and it's horrible because we can never sing.
Wow.
I throw them into that.
Oh, you guys are so
And
amazing.
Baby Got Back is there's videos going around of me in Nashville with some friends at my husband's old conference, which I didn't realize Baby Got Back was a rap, and I get on rap. And there's some horrible videos, but I'll pretty much sing anything.
Love it.
Karaoke. She's all about the karaoke. Chad, question for our guest. Anything you want to ask her?
Honestly, I have a few good ones here, but she set it up in an email you sent to us, which is you have an exciting story to tell us about an experience being a 401k advisor. I want to know that. That's what I want to know.
Oh my gosh. Is it about the farting dog?
I don't know. You didn't give us anything else except that you have a story to tell, essentially, an experience to tell.
Okay. Well, I have a few experiences. I had a funny one about a farting dog. I'll just share that one.
Question.
I don't know if I should or not, but, oh gosh. Okay. I will. So, about the relationships, building the relationships, I know maybe JD, I should not share this conversation.
Where'd Chad go? He had to
Oh,
leave.
good. Chad's gone.
Do it. Go ahead.
Can't handle it. Give us the farting dog.
I'll share about the farting dog.
Your dog farts and
Looks like
snores?
those
So I had a client who was, which JD loved, had a PEO. And so they had
I'm a pep, so that's good.
Years ago. And the owner, had a dog that fell in the pool, a senior dog, drowned, passed away. So he got this new puppy. So I show up with a big basket of, toys and like these really fancy cookies, just biscuit cookies. So after the meeting, I'm sitting there with Sophie and Ted and talking, and I'm feeding Sophie these cookies. And I bent down to kind of play with her a little bit as Ted went to get me some water. And all of a sudden she lets out some horrible gas. And at that moment, I'm trying to kind of collect myself, and Ted walks right in. So he walks right in as this dog has passed gas. And I start laughing because it looked like I did it. And it proceeded to be this really funny banter of, I got cards about my gas problem and recommendations, and I kept that client for years. And sold, and it was. I was like, Ted, I did not do it. It was Sophie.
Sure.
You should. The next time you're there, you should save one up, little bean burrito for lunch, and then just rip a big fart in a fiduciary review meeting, and you'll get a great
one of the questions I wrote down, because we were going to rapid fire with her and ask a bunch of questions, was, would you rather pass gas or have a booger on your face in a meeting? So now we know you'd rather pass gas.
Chad, but by the way, when you set this up, because this was your idea, you never said rapid fire multiple.
I know.
I did
One
too.
question each.
Justin,
I've got 7 questions written down for Renee.
Justin, do you have a question for her, buddy?
Sure. It's not as good as these by any means, but you did kind of point on it. You're excited to be back out, going to the office, COVID, whole 9 yards. What the hell are you going to do to celebrate once we're out of this? Where are you going? What do you party? What's up?
Well,
Karaoke.
Karaoke. I know. I want to travel. I think being in the
Oh, Brandon, how dare you?
What? That's Chad. That's Chad and his family.
You want to go to Maui?
Damn it, Brandon.
On the dog. Oh my God. Okay.
Chad, how did you time that with the dolphin? That's phenomenal.
It's amazing work.
And the rainbow.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what's Brandon?
Come on, Pete.
So good.
Oh, Brandon, can I have that for our Insta, please?
Oh, that's awesome. Oh,
All right.
that's awesome.
Where
Yeah.
are you going to go celebrate? Justin wanted to know.
You know what? We're going to travel, I think. And I think, being in the office and being out and having my son's at, ASU, and he's, their finals are right the week after Thanksgiving. We were going to go to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. But, I just want to get out and travel. I mean, I think for all of us, we're social people, and just being out and getting to some form of normalcy is important. So.
And you're not afraid of the COVID. Hawaii's opening up in like a week. So you take a test, you can go there. Yeah.
Yeah. We've had to take tests, and because of being exposed to a neighbor, and my husband's had to take tests for various reasons. And so we're, being responsible, just washing your hands and wearing a mask. And,
Doug Dalzell, I would have gave you the win just for that one comment if it would have came earlier.
Worth it.
Yeah, go
Well
send
timed. Nice job, Doug.
The 10-man strikes again.
Yeah. Was that his only comment for the day? Because that was money. Money.
Fun and worth every second.
Just a home run, grand slam.
No.
Okay. I'm going to ask you about only because someone asked me to, about your hair care routine. Like, you seem to have beautiful hair, looks healthy and straight, similar to mine.
Where's your hair, Kate?
Carrie, I know we got to thank Carrie Ohm for this.
What's your hair care routine?
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I am not someone who takes long to get ready. I take 20 minutes. If it takes longer than 20 minutes, you lose me.
But
So,
do you condition before you shampoo?
I am not a person that can go for days without shampooing my hair, because I do work out almost pretty much every morning. So I do have to. My 15-year-old daughter tells me I'm destroying my hair, but yes, I shampoo and condition every day.
I listened to a surf podcast, won't come as a shock, but the host of the surf podcast hasn't washed his hair in like 5 years, and he has short hair, and he claims like, hey, it allows your scalp to like produce the right oils, and look at my hair, it's healthy and beautiful. And he hasn't washed his hair in 5 years. He showers and cleans, he just doesn't wash his hair. And
Yeah,
so
I think Chad and Justin and Mark, you guys probably, with your hairstyles.
I haven't washed mine in 10 years.
Renee. Yeah.
I was
Careful.
a massive fan of this podcast, so I decided I was going to follow suit and not wash my hair. And I made it like 12 days. And my wife was like, "Shut it down." She's like, "No, this doesn't work for you." So
Renee, I'll give you a story. I'll give you a story about JD's hair. We used to go on a surf trip every year. It would be 5 days of surfing, just driving down the coast and surfing. And none of us would shower. We were tent camping. We were on the beach, and we would just pick different surf spots. And every day he'd get out of the water and he'd rub sand in his hair. One of the days I think we were just south of Pismo. He rubbed sand in his hair. He grabbed a red Solo cup and he laid in the sun and fell asleep. And people started putting money in his cup as they walked past him on the boardwalk while we were sitting there throwing a football, my brother and I.
all right, thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been another great episode of Retireholics. Renee, thank you so much for spending this time with us. And you're a real trooper and a top contender for the prohibitive word champion. You're right up there with some of the best. And good luck to you and everything you're doing. And again, praise from the chat bar and praise from us on all of your charity efforts. And you're just a 401k stud. And so we'd love having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
401k every day.
Brandon, we got music to play.
Go, Renee.
Thanks,
Thank
Renee.
you.
And now, Renee, we
Oh,
dance.
should be Van
Hold on,
Halen.
Mike has a
No.
good point there. Should be
gotta be
Van
Queen.
Halen.
Should be Van Halen. I was gonna marry Eddie Van Halen when I
But
was.
you gave us an option
God,
of Cash or
Becky,
Queen.
look
Could be
at
Oh, no, it's not. It's your
so
favorite.
big.
Oh, Renee,
She
please
looks
sing
like
this.
those rap guys' girlfriends. Who understands?
Oh, you know those next mornings when you wake up and you start hearing the beat of a text?
I mean,
and all of a sudden I got videos.
so big. I can't believe it's just so round. It's like out there. I mean, gross. Look, she's just so.
Is Chad dancing?
I like
Uh-oh.
big
Yeah.
butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Now when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung.